premiere of Save the Victor Roll. If you've checked out the description box and the title, you'll know that we are playing with the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette. It is a beautiful palette of mattes and satin shades, and this was the final look of 3 days of looks. And if you like what you see here and want to see 3 different looks with this palette, just keep on watching. Hey, it's Chloe Demir of Save the Victor Roll. We're going to be doing a week of, well, not even a week, a 3-look video on the Hydrographic Palette by Sample Beauty, an all matte palette of green, blues, and purples. This is the first of the 3 looks that we have created. So if you want to see how we created this look, created the other 2 looks, or just fumble around with eyeshadow in general, just keep on watching. So here we are with our first look using the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette. That's the color story there. So we've got a green story, a blue story, and a purple story. So it seems to be there's 3 of the greens, 3 of the blues, and 4 purples. And this one purple kind of gives me a little bit of a blurple feel, like it has a little bit of blue mixed into it. Maybe kind of like a cornflower maybe. So as you can see, we've done 1 eye. I wanted to test it out first, A, to see what look I wanted to create, and B, to see if there's going to be tons of fallout, that if I should just do eyes first and then do base, but it was actually really good. The only time I got fallout was if I was using this angle brush and kind of I guess scraping is the word, but dipping in, I got fallout. But when I was using regular fluffy brushes, I didn't seem to really get any fallout. So I thought as long as I'm careful with this brush, we should be okay. So I decided to play with my favorite colors first instead of leaving them for last. So I did a green eye. This is an all matte palette. So for a shimmer, I decided the only other things I added that were not a Sample Beauty, I added a little bit from Bitter Lace Beauty. That's going to be in the inner corner. That is the Bordeaux color, and then I have a little bit of Berry M liner in there. But other than that, this is just a Sample Beauty eye look. So let's start. So what I did this time was I went lightest to darkest. So we're gonna take that first shade in there, and it's called Fido. So that's that one there, and we're going to put that into the inner portion of our eye. I primed using the Kaleidos toner activated primer, and I gave it a little bit time to set. Make sure we don't got any wrinkles in there. And then, yeah, so I started with the lightest color first, just to kind of lay out how far I wanted all the colors to go. We'll go over them again to give them more depth. But just to lay it out, then I took the medium color, which is Plantation, so that's that one there. And then we're going to stick that into the middle. And I guess it would help if I did use the angled brush instead of the fluffy brush. All right, so I'll grab a little bit on there. And there we go. And then this way we have, hopefully we are matching. Yeah, we're pretty close. I think I did pretty good this time. And then we will just fill in a little bit. So I just took some of the, I don't want to call it fallout, but the shadow that was created in the loose shadow created in the pan by this brush, and we'll just fill in a little bit here, and then we'll go back to the fluffy brush. And then these are the ones I'm using today are all by Colored Rain. So I'm going to go back into Lagoon, and then from Lagoon we're going to go into Plantation. And then bringing it up to match the little line that I've created with the card. And then making sure to really clean off this brush because I was lazy and I just used 3 brushes today. The angled, this fluffy brush, and then the one for the inner corner. And then we're gonna go back into Fido. And then we're going to bring that into the front. And there we go. And then for the bottom, where I'm just going to use the 3 same colors again, I'm just going to use the angled brush, and then I'm going to give it a spray with my setting spray as well, just so we don't get any fallout, or very little. So we take that to almost the middle. We go back into Plantation, the medium shade. And then into Fido, the lightest shade. There we go. This is such a pretty color. They go on really well. They blend really, really easily. Really quite liking Sample Beauty. I've heard a lot of good things. I got this through Beauty Bay. That's how I can get it here easier. I can also go through Sample Beauty, but if I spend a certain amount, I can get either free shipping with Beauty Bay, or the shipping is actually really reasonable. So then for the inner corner, we're gonna go into the Bitter Lace Beauty, and we're gonna go into the shade Bordeaux, and then we're just going to stick this into the inner corner. I really like Bitter Lace Beauty. I'm trying to be in a little bit of a low buy. They just had a sale. They may still have it on, so if it's still on when this video airs, I would definitely give them a try. They're out of Las Vegas, and it's their highlighter shades are beautiful. All right, and then just quickly the Berry M into the inner waterline. These pencils are amazing as well. I got them through Look Fantastic. There we go, easy on. And then my mascara, which is the Spectrum Dark Matter. And that's it. I've got some errands to do today. I'm going to be wearing glasses on and off, so I'm just not going to put any lashes. I usually just do lashes if I'm actually going to go out. Actually set my hair for the first time in a while, but I still need to finish off. But this is our first look. We're going to be doing 3 looks this week. We're going to do the green, the blue, and the purple, and here is our green look. And again, it's with the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette. All right, so on to the next look. Hey, we're getting ready to show our second look, but here is a preview. All right, keep on watching. Okay, so here we are for the second look. We are using the blues, and oops, let me just get my brushes out of the way. It again is the Hydrographic Palette by Sample Beauty. We used the greens yesterday, and today we're on to the blues. I thought this was an all matte palette, but then when I held it in a different light, I did notice there were some shimmers in there. So I think I'm gonna say they're more satins. They do have a little bit of shimmer. So it looks like 2 of the purples and this blue here have shimmer in them. So yeah, we're gonna call them, they feel like a satin formula. So this is the eye look that I created today. If I had any critique with the blue side, I would think is that the darkest blue and the shimmer blue they look pretty close to the same on the eye. The shimmer blue is called Whirlpool, and the other one, gosh, I can't read that, that's really small. Most of the writing on this palette's not too bad. So we've got Dory, from Save Nemo, and then Title. So we're going to be using Whirlpool in the center, Dory on the outer portion, and then Title on the inner, and then with help a little bit to blend out. I've again, for the shimmers, have gone with my Bitter Lace Beauty. They do have some fun colors that match the theme. So we have the green, we have the blue, and then we have the purple. And then this blue is in aquamarine, and I have that in the inner corner here. So let's get started with what I've done so far. So the whole base and everything is on. I've primed my eye, again using the same primer, the Kaleidos. Just gonna pat it down a little bit to make sure there's no wrinkles. Try to keep the rest of my makeup very neutral to focus on our eyes. So I've used several different brushes. I was mostly been using this little one from Lowest Cosmetics. So we're gonna go into Dory, and then we're gonna go and pop that into the outer corner. And then today I did more of a rounded look. And again, this has some nice pigmentation. I've had no problems blending, adding color, adding things on top. It's been really good so far. This one I have to be a little careful. There was a little bit of fallout, but I did my base anyway, so I'm gonna try not to take too much at a time that I have to worry about it. So I took it about to almost half there. And then for blending out, I'm just again using my Wayne Goss brush with no product, and then just give this a little bit of a blend. And then for the center, we're gonna go into Whirlpool. And again, using that same Lowest Cosmetic brush, it's like a small blender. And then we're gonna stick that into the middle. As you can see, it's a nice shimmery shade, but more again like a satin. It doesn't have huge shimmer payoff, but it just does add some dimension to the look here. There we go. And then for the inside, we are going in with Title, and that is the lightest blue in the palette. And then using the Wayne Goss brush, I am going to dip a little bit into the lightest blue, and then I'm going to use that to kind of blend out the edge here. So you can try and get that same kind of blown out shape. Bring the color just a smidge higher on the eye. And there we go. So now that I've got it kind of blended and I think I have the shape that's matching pretty good to up top, we're gonna go and now intensify the colors. And again, it is Dory on the outside, Whirlpool in the center, and then the lightest color Title on the inside. Okay, so now that we've got everything intensified, I'm going to switch up my brushes, and I'm going to take this colored rain brush that's flatter and denser, and then a little bit of my Cover Effects spray, and then I'm going to take the Whirlpool, that satin shade, I'm going to dip it in there, give it a spritz, and then intensify the shimmer a little bit on the inside. It only does a little bit more, but I think it's enough to definitely add a little bit of sparkle and a little bit more dimension in there. From what I've heard, sometimes if you put a little shimmer in the mattes, it makes them more blendable. So I'm not sure if that was the point or if they were meaning them to be more bright, but I do like it. I think it just adds just enough for doing this monochromatic blue look. So there we go. So now for the bottom, I just use the two colors, the darkest and the lightest. So Dory and Title, and then I just use this colored rain angled brush, basically using most of the same brushes I used for yesterday's look. And then again, to make sure I don't get any fallout, we're just gonna give it a spray and make it a little damp. And then we're gonna do the bottom of the eye. So there we go, we've got the bottom. And then for that shimmer, we're gonna go, and again, we're going to use Aquamarine from the Bitter Lace Beauty. Then we're going to pop that into the center. We add a little bit more on the other side. So pretty. Okay, so then one of the last things I did was I used some Berry M High Vis liner on the waterline. Got a little shimmer in my eye. Okay, so I hope I remember where I left off. I just had a phone call. So I think it was mascara as my last step. We had put on the Bitter Lace inner corner. We put on the Berry M blue eyeliner in the waterline. And then now we just need a little mascara. There we go. So this is our second look. What do we think? Is it pretty? Shiny? Blue. Who doesn't like a beautiful monochromatic blue eye? So that's it for our second look. Now on to the third. Hey, here we are with look number 3 with the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette. And today we're using the last 4s, which are the purples and blurples. So I did one eye look. There was a little bit more fallout with the purples than there was with the other colors. Not a lot, but enough where I thought that if I had my base on, I didn't want to take the chance. So today we're gonna do the eye look first, and then we will do the base after, though I will do that off camera, and then we can have some final thoughts on our palette. So let's get started with this eye. So I'm gonna first use my Lois Cosmetics angled brush, and then my trusty little Starbucks card here. And then I'm going to try and see if I can match up again on this side my little wing, or maybe not so little wing. And if I'm off camera, oh, let's grab the other mirror. It's because I'm looking into a mirror, so I apologize. And then we're going to be dipping into Atlantis, which is that color there. There, I think I've got enough of a shape there. And then I'm just going to fill in a little bit. And now I can go and get my hand mirror, which is a little bit easier to use. And then we're just gonna go and pop in a little bit of the color here. Just to kind of just still mark it out. That's pretty close. Okay, so now I'm going to take another one from Lois Cosmetics, and that's that one there. It's like a small blendery brush. And then we're gonna go back into Atlantis, and they're just gonna go and fill that in. So it's got a purpley blue, so I like to call them blurples. So it gives some really good color payoff. Doesn't need a lot to blend, I found out with these shadows. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this really fine colored rain one and just to make it a little bit more sharper over here. Yeah, so that way we can get that same shape on either side. I don't always have the steadiest of hands, so this way using a thinner brush helps me with getting a better shot at getting a edge, but we can clean it up later as well when we're sticking on our base. Okay, so I've got shape there. I'm going to pack on a little bit more of the color. And as we can see, we've got a little bit more fallout but as purples are apparently notoriously hard to blend or get a good color payoff, I don't have that problem with these shadows. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to use is, while using the same brush, I'll just clean it off in the color switch. We're going to go into this lighter color, and it is called Anemone. That one right there. And then we're going to use that for the rest of our lid. And then I'm using the same primer I've been using for the last few weeks, which is the Kaleidos Color Activated Eye Primer. I do have the new Juvia's Place one coming. I missed the original couple stocks, but it finally came in stock, so I was able to get that. A bronzer duo and the blush duo. These are such pretty colors. They blend in nicely together. Got good color payoff. I think I did really well with matching my shapes. So I'm going to use that same thin brush again and going into Anemone, and then just should have actually brought out some colored liners. Well, if I have time when I'm off camera, maybe we can try that. But I am really liking this look. All right, so now let's work on the bottom, and then we'll do shimmers. So on the bottom, I'm just going to repeat the same two colors along the bottom. There we go. And then for the waterline, I was just using my Annabelle Cosmetics, this lavender eyeliner. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it, but it's really pretty. There we go. Okay, so I've used a little bit of my e.l.f. glitter glue, primer glue, whatever we want to call it. And then I was using this denser packing brush by Colored Rain. And then we'll just clean it off, and then we'll just pop in a little bit of that onto the mobile part of our lids. And then we are going to use the two shimmers. So we've got Typhoon and Ursula. Yeah, so Typhoon and of course Ursula, shiny purple, and we're going to use Typhoon on the outer edge. Oops, there went my eyeliner. It's nice and shimmery. Again, I call these, I would almost say more satins, but I find that these two go on a little bit more shiny than the blue one did, with less work, but it's very pretty. Okay, and then Ursula. Not really pretty. Okay, let's just do one more coat. Purple. And then a little bit more of the blue shimmer. Okay, that looks really nice. So I'm just gonna go on the top, and then I'm going to just intensify the lighter purple. So Anemone, just on top here a little bit. There we go, that's better. I just noticed that it looked not as intense as on the other side. And then for mascara, my Dark Star by Spectrum, or Dark Matter, I should say. And there's most of our eye look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do the base, and then we can come back and do our inner corner together. Okay, I'll be back. And we're back. So now we've got a full face of makeup on. Just using my Colored Rain Purple Lip for bronzer and cheek. I've got the NARS, was it Laguna, and the Orgasm. I just had a couple samples that I've been using for a little bit and testing out. And then we've got for highlighter, we're using the Bitter Lace Beauty, and this one is in Amethyst. And yeah, and I thought maybe we can also use from the Hydrographic Palette. I'm going to take a little bit of Ursula, and then we're just gonna pop that onto our lip. So I just pop some on my finger, and then I'm just gonna go and tap on a little shimmer. So that we match a little bit more. Oh, and then for foundation, I'm just wearing The Ordinary Serum Foundation. All right, so we are gonna quickly put into our inner corners that Amethyst by Bitter Lace Beauty. Highlighter. Look how pretty that is. Let's just have a almost all perfect look, purple look today. And there we go, done. So our look is done, and let's quickly discuss this palette. All right, so the Sample Beauty Hydrographic Palette. So you're looking at 10 shades, greens, blues, and purples. We did 3 looks. I think it's a great palette. I highly recommend. I got it through Beauty Bay. You can also go directly through Sample Beauty. Like I said, very little fallout. I was just, purples are a little bit, I think, harder. So there was a little bit more fallout there, but it wasn't tons and tons. This time I just didn't want to take the chance of wrecking my base. I did my eyes first, but they blended well. They went on pigmented. The colors are gorgeous. Like, this is totally my kind of color story. I definitely like darker colors. Greens are my ultimate favorites. Getting into blues and purples as well, as long as they're like these dark purples. I'm not as much into, I think, pastel purples, but these darker purples are really nice. So I'd say if you've wanted to try Sample Beauty, I would say go for it. I think they're absolutely amazing, and I definitely cannot wait to try out more products. I do have one of their liquid shadows, this beautiful acidy green, but I think it's almost more of a base color, so I will definitely use that in future. Maybe even do a short about it. But anyways, that's our look. I hope you liked it. And if you feel so inclined to give us a like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even click that notification bell, it'd be greatly appreciated. And if not, that's okay. We can still be friends. We can discuss makeup, try on new favorites, old favorites, just play about. Hope everything is going well. You're having a great day. You're staying safe while still having some fun and enjoying your summer. And that's it for me. Okay.